Have you ever found yourself standing in the kitchen, elbow deep in the potato chip bag, realizing that you've just eaten the entire thing and in one sitting, and the shame kicks in? You realize, what am I doing? Why did this happen? I've been so good. I can relate. I have struggled with binge eating off and on throughout my adult life, and it can be so painful, especially when you have had body images like issues and narratives put on you throughout your life. And so then you feel like, why can't I just get it together? I've got to lose weight. I've got to get a hold of myself. I want to tell you, you are not alone. And anytime I have fallen into a binge, my personal favorites have always been peanut butter or kettle chips or nuts. And I just find myself going back to the kitchen for just one more handful, and I go sit down. And then I go back with just one more spoonful, and then I go sit down. And I can do this all day. And I swear I don't realize it until I am 10 servings in, drowning in my own shame. Today, I want to share with you how I finally broke up with emotional eating and how I did this not with willpower, but by shifting my subconscious mind. And by the end of this video, I'm going to have you know what you need to do the same thing. Throughout my life, I often turned to food when I was feeling chaotic or abandoned, or, there were so many occasions where I found myself turning to food. There were times when I was younger and my mom had passed when I was very young, and I had already been given up for adoptions. This was my adoptive mom who had passed, and my dad would travel a lot. And when he would travel, I used to go and get bowls of cereal, and I would just get bowl after bowl, and I would go sit in front of the TV, and I was self-soothing with the bowls of cereal. And I would have maybe 4 bowls of cereal. And this just became a pattern that I would constantly soothe myself when I was alone. And this followed me well into adulthood. And then I found that I always felt like my weight was a problem and I just needed to eat better. And then honestly, I never actually struggled with my weight until my first marriage. And then my weight just went up, and I basically soothed myself with food throughout that relationship. It was an emotionally abusive relationship, and I put on, 50, 60 pounds during that time. And the first time I really recognized how intricately weaved our weight can be with our life and what we're going through was when I left that husband. And over the course of the 6 months after, I lost 60 pounds without even trying. It wasn't stress. It was freedom. It was, I don't need to soothe anymore. I am living my life. And it felt so natural. And I had people coming to me and saying, wow, what are you doing? And I just felt like, I don't really know. Honestly, it just don't feel compelled to eat anymore. Then in my next relationship, because I did not do the healing necessary to not repeat the same patterns, it was also toxic. And I found my weight started to creep up and up and up, and I fought it. I'd fight it down a little, but it was never easy in the way that it was easy when I felt free. So then actually 2 divorces in, I started to lose weight again. And then over the past year, my weight started to creep up due to other issues that kind of rocked my sense of safety. And I've really been well aware of the roller coaster that weight can take depending on what my life goes through. And I know I'm not alone. If you have felt like your weight goes up and down based on the circumstances of your life, you're not alone, and there is hope. So here is where this story gets interesting and ironic. So over the past year, my weight had gone up. Life was stressful. I had returned to old eating patterns and self-soothing, and I started building my hypnosis business. I was hustling. I was doing all the things to create success, and it was going well, but it was stressful. And when I hit a wall, as I mentioned in another video, I hit a wall hard, and I really did not change my eating for a little bit until I started to get some rest, until I started to calm myself down. And I had a hypnosis client reach out to me she had come to me to get help with losing weight. And in my conversation with her, I saw myself and I was so moved because everything she was expressing, I had been through, and I felt so drawn to, I have to create something that supports this. And then a few months later, I began to create it after this client reached out to me and said, I'm so excited. I have to tell you, I've lost 20 pounds in the past 2 months since I was listening to the recording you made me. And I thought, oh my God, I have access to those recordings. Why am I not using that? I've been gaining weight. I've been struggling to try and get my weight back down. Why am I not using the tools I have available to me? I've been certified in hypnosis for the past 10 years almost, and I have not used it on weight loss. So I set to work creating a program that would allow me to lose weight. And I knew if I was going to do that, I've worked with hypnotherapists in the past who would try to give me their own prescription for hypnosis and what they thought I should eat, such as to be vegan, which didn't resonate with me, or to always eat fruit first at the beginning of the meal. And I thought that was so arbitrary. And I really never had success. And so there was a part of me that was scared to even attempt this. So I knew if I was going to create this program, I needed it to be all encompassing and open enough that it didn't matter what someone believed about food or what was the right plan for them, that what they were going to do was go on a spiritual journey to heal all the parts of themselves that were told that they needed to look a certain way in order to be worthy, or that they were always going to struggle with their weight because their parents struggled with their weight, or that it was unsafe to be in a small and desirable body. And so I dug deep into my own journey, into the conversations I've had with so many women, and I created a 12-week process that walks us through all of those issues and reprograms the mind. So I personally am on my 3rd week of listening to these recordings, and I'm down 5 pounds, which is, nothing crazy. When we're desperate to lose weight, we don't get excited about 5 pounds. However, what I am excited to share is that I am grabbing 2 small bowls full of nuts and not going back for a 3rd. Or that I eat my dinner and I think, do I want to go back and get some snacky things? No, I don't think so. I'm good. And I go to bed. The way my behavior has shifted without trying, because if you are like me and you've struggled with eating and you've struggled with trying to change your body, you're exhausted. You're exhausted from trying for so long. And finding a way to shift your behaviors from the core rather than from white knuckling it is life-changing. So if you have struggled with emotional eating or with eating foods that you know don't serve you and you just wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stop doing this? I want to tell you that you can do this. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind. This is where the beliefs are stored. This is where the memories are stored. And this is where you're operating from. 95% of our actions come from our subconscious mind. So I want to invite you to check out my Love Your Body Hypnosis, which is actually from week 1 of my Becoming Weightless program. And that is here for free on my YouTube channel. And if you feel called to take this work to the next level, I invite you to check out the link in the description where you can check out my Becoming Weightless program, the entire 12 weeks, and see if it is right for you. Thanks so much. And if any of this resonated with you, please go ahead and comment below on what this brought up, and subscribe if you feel called to. Thank you.